Welcome back to the Legend Heroes Trails in the Sky. Let me turn my voice down a bit and we'll get ready to go. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information you covered in your previous training. Yeah, this is going to be the tutorial. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function efficiently. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Orbments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights and heaters and every other day products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work together to protect civilians and maintain stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as eliminating monsters, preventing crime, and finding lost items and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches all over the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. The Kingdom of Liberl, in which we sit on the western half of the Zamoria continent, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zamoria continent, and abounds. The Kingdom of Liberl, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zamoria continent, and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberl is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent, and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has also been a key pillar of our support for Liberl in protecting its independence as it has contended with its neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberl was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. I have a feeling this is part of an earlier Legend Heroes game. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberl enjoys peace. Let's see. Since we got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you get off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed up things now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara? How is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, well, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure that you have to work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yep, that's seriously what the doctor ordered. I didn't know I was going to... I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit in the day with my tush parked on a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Excuse me. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you'll be performing. But before that, there is something But before that, there is something that we need to give the both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two. Get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. How much you want to bet we're going to lose them at some point? Bracer Notebook serves as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear, or anything you may find anywhere. These kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Is this going to be some kind of detective game? I won't be complaining if it is.
Understood.
Crap, this sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So, get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over there by the door. You can see the bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there.
When the bulletin board is approached, an exclamation mark will appear. Pressing the X button will display the jobs list. By selecting the job's name on the list, you can view the details.
Training retrieval new. Client Sherazard, pay 500 Mira, Mira, I think. Details direct request. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bringing back the contents of a chest. See Sherazard for details.
Details of the job confirmed on the bulletin board and other events will automatically be recorded in the Bracer Notebook. The Bracer Notebook can easily be found by clicking on the Books tab of the Items menu. It can also be accessed by holding down the triangle button and pressing the left on the directional pad.
Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble.
Well, of course we did. If we don't know how to work a bulletin board, we're kind of not cut out for the job, are we?
Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on the job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think that being a bracer calls for someone with much more than a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I just have to be more motivated. Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all of that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's orb factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here is where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory services. In an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use Orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects if mastered, and if mastered can be extremely helpful. The Braces business is a pretty risky occupation, so the Guild has a long-standing relationship with these Orbital Factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here?
No problem. Leave everything to me. So, what is it that you'd like to know about? Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we'll be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ from each owner. Simply put, the shape of fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's a layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of sepit, too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So, what is it that you'd like to know about? Simply put, orbital arts are magic which can be distributed exclusively through the use of battle ornaments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed in a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complicated than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. So, what is it that you'd like to know about? Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until the quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment and decide where you'll be installing it ahead of time. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Sepith are fragments of septium, which are dropped by monsters. These are divided into 7 types: earth, brown, water, blue, fire, red, wind, green, time, black, space, golden, mirage, silver. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but at the orbital factory it can be used to synthesize quartz and open orbment slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. So, what is it that you would like to know about? It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some sepith.
Receive several types of each elemental sepith.
With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin first by making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop you would be able to exchange sepith for mirror, but in this training you will not be able to use this service.
Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the X button will display a list of options. Select modify or trade to use the orbital factory's services.
Good work on your training. If you need to use the orbital factory, give Freddy a holler over there. Hi there.
It looks like you two are doing well in your training. If you would like me to modify your augments, please select the Modify Trade service. Okay, so I need time. Now let's see here.
I can pull off one of any, really. Defense 1, HP 1, attack 1, evade 1. Max HP plus 5%. Depth plus 5%, max. Okay, so I'll go with, that goes AGL plus 1. Strength 5%. Def negative 5%. I wonder if this is like what Pokemon you choose at the beginning of Pokemon Red. Like you get, you pick Charmander, you fight Squirtle, you pick Blastoise, Squirtle. I meant you're Gary. Gary will get Squirtle if you pick Charizard, and then has absolutely no relation to this. But we're at 16 minutes, so I'm just gonna go ahead and break up the video and see you later with some more Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky first chapter.